Welcome to Graphing Calculator 3D. In order to plot a graph, simply tap down the equation and press the return key. For example, if you type minus x divided by 3 and you press the return key, you get z equals to minus x divided by 3 plotted for you. You can edit the equations and press the return key again to see the updated graph. Each graph represented by a text and a checkbox in front of it. If you check the checkbox off, then the graph will be removed from the axis. You can add a new equations by clicking on the yellow pencil. When you plot equations, you can manipulate the graph by using your mouse. You can drag it to rotate it. You can also zoom in and out using the middle mouse key or by using the mouse wheel if your mouse is equipped with one. You can also animate the rotation by clicking on the play button. The draw attributes demonstrates the various attributes of a graph, for example the resolution, the color, and the draw mode. You can change the colors by clicking on the colorful boxes. A graph can be said to have only one color, in which case you would select the solid color, or it could be gradual color, in which case it will go from the first color to the second color along X, Y, or Z axis. Your graph is also automatically shaded by a light, so you'll see reflections, which will help you determine the depth of the graph more easily. In the draw mode, you can choose between points, lines, and surfaces. If you click on line, a wire graph of your equation will be plotted. In this wireframe, you can rotate it around, and you can also change its color and other draw attributes. If you switch to points, you'll see points for every vertices of your graph. You can increase or decrease the thickness of the points or lines when you're in the points or lines mode. You can increase or decrease the resolution. The more resolution, the more points. And if you switch in the lines mode, then you see more or less lines depending on the resolution. Similarly, with the surface, you see more or less polygons as you increase or decrease the resolutions. Now, if you enable the table mode by clicking on the table icon, then you see a value table for each equations. If you click on equations, its corresponding X, Y, Z table will be loaded in the table area. You can scroll up and down the table. You can also manipulate the data. For example, let's change the value at coordinate 0, 0, 0 to 0, 0, 5. As soon as you change 0, 0, 0 to 0, 0, 5, you'll see that the graph will be updated with the new coordinate. You can change or manipulate as many vertices as you want. You can also add new rows or remove existing rows by using the plus and the minus buttons located on top of the table. The other options available to you is axis setup, that will conveniently allows you to decide on the range of your axis along x, y, z. So for example, in order to have a range of x axis to go from 0 to plus 20, you will change the values accordingly. You have access to the options for changing the axis length, the number of divisions, units per division, and the appearance. The number of divisions can be changed by sliding the sliders along x, y, or z. The more sliders you have, the more the length of the axis will increase, unless you put the check mark next to fixed axis length, in which case the axis length stays the same. In the Appearance tab, you can change the various elements of the axis. You can change the colors, you can make the axis appear or disappear, the grids can be appear or disappear, tick labels, and so on. For each of these elements, you can change the colors. As you're changing the range values or any other attributes of the axis, not only the axis is replotted, but also the graph is replotted. The coordinates of the graph will be recalculated, so if you open the tables of that graph, you'll see that now the x starts from 0 to 15. Earlier, the x went from -5 to +5. You can also control how many number of decimal places are displayed in the table by using the decimal format dialog box as shown here. You can also decide whether scientific form is used or not. Also introduce your own variables. For example, to multiply this equation by a scale, let's call it my factor. Simply type my factor, multiply by, and press the return key. This will automatically create a new line with my factor equals to. As you click on redraw all, you'll see that the equation is redrawn, but this time with a factor of 3. If you change my factor to 2 and click on redraw all, then you'll see that the third equation is now plotted differently. Once you're done, you can save your work so that later on you can open the work and continue working on the same project. This program is available for free from www.runiter.com.